What's up, guys? Keaton here, back to make some more predictions. This time we're going to be talking about the 2017-2018 NFL season. It's upon us once again. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to start watching the games. I'm glad to be talking about it, and I'm glad to be making another video here for you guys. Just want to apologize for not coming out with any videos anytime in the recent past. Been pretty busy with school. I'm in business school over at Arizona State getting a sports and media degree, so that's been keeping me pretty busy. I do apologize. I'm going to try to come out with some more videos for you guys. I know we got the MLB playoffs coming up soon, and then before you know it, the NBA season will be kicking off. So, I'm going to come out with some more videos for you guys. I do apologize for that, but with that being said, let's go ahead and dig into it. So we're going to be talking about the AFC and the NFC. I'm going to give you my division winners. I'm going to give you my two wild card teams coming out of those conferences, and then I'm going to give you my championship game for each conference matchups, the winners, and as well as a preseason, basically Super Bowl prediction for you guys for Super Bowl 52. So let's go ahead and get started here. The AFC, AFC North, we got Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Cincinnati Bengals. Now, when you think about this division, right now at least, a clear front runner would be the Steelers, and I completely agree with that. The Steelers are, I would say, 9 out of 10 people will tell you that they're the best team in this division. Maybe 10 out of 10, actually. Depends who you ask, honestly. No, I think the Steelers are the best team in this division. I don't think that can really be argued that much. They have weapons at every position. They have a very experienced quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. Their defense has always been stout. They have a great coach, great fan base, great city. Pittsburgh being a huge fan base there for the Steelers. Really good fans. I just think that the Steelers, there's no reason they should not win this division. I mean, come on, think about it. They have all the weapons that they need. Le'Veon Bell is probably the top three. He's definitely top three in running backs in the league. Don't argue with that. But a lot of people will tell you he's the best one. So we'll see how that works. But hopefully he can keep it going all year, stay healthy. Same with Ben Roethlisberger. If he can stay healthy and he has this chemistry down with his offense like he has had in years past, I think you're looking at a very dangerous team with the Steelers. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the Steelers as my AFC North champions for 2017-2018 season. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the AFC East. I'm just kind of going northeast, southwest here. The AFC East, so we got the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots, of course. They just came off a Super Bowl 51 victory. Biggest comeback in Super Bowl history against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, nothing much can be said about that game other than Tom Brady. I mean, he's the best ever, you guys. Come on. I came out, I didn't think he was the best ever. I thought it was close between him and Joe Montana going into the Super Bowl. And, I went ahead and posted on social media after that game. I said, you know what, Tom Brady, greatest of all time. I do believe that. I really do. With that being said, the Patriots, they just played their first game last night, Thursday Night Football against the Chiefs. They looked really good in the first half. Then their defense, I don't know what happened to it. It collapsed. It really did. Got to give credit to the Chiefs. They played a great game. They added some pieces to the Patriots that I think will keep them the same level that they were last year in terms of their ability to run the ball and catch and pass the ball. Brandon Cooks was a great addition. They lost Julian Edelman because he tore his ACL. That's terrible. It's always terrible to see that sort of thing happen in the preseason. It's one of the reasons why I think the preseason should be stripped down to 2 games, not 4. We see nothing but injuries after the first 2 games. Nothing but injuries. So that's for a whole other time. Anyways, Patriots added Brandon Cooks. I think he's going to make up for the absence of Julian Edelman very, very well. I think their skill sets are very, very similar. They're very explosive downfield wide receivers, deep threats, can get behind the secondary, can make plays. They're very quick. They can run in the slot. Tom Brady's got another great weapon there with Brandon Cooks. I think with Gronkowski, if he stays healthy, Tom Brady stays healthy, the O-line keeps doing what it does, and then if your defense stays above average like it has been for years on years on years, under one of the best coaches of all time, Bill Belichick, I think there's no reason the Patriots should not win this division. The Buffalo Bills have a great defense as well. I'll be talking a little bit more about them in a little bit, but I think the Bills will be second in that division, and it's going to be very close. And I'll talk about them here in a second, a little bit more. AFC South now. We got the Tennessee Titans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, and Houston Texans. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Jaguars will not win this division. I know I'm not crazy saying that, and most of you will agree with me on that. Blake Bortles, he's probably going to get better every year. It's just they're not ready yet. They drafted Leonard Fournette. He's going to be a great running back. He's going to make an impact this year. Don't get me wrong. He's going to make an impact this year, but it will not be enough of an impact to lead them to the playoffs. So that's that. The Indianapolis Colts, they're kind of, I think they missed their opportunity when they had the Deflategate scandal and all that, when they were in the championship game. They had their opportunity. They were a great team that year. I think now they've kind of peaked at that year. Now they're just going to kind of slowly come down. Andrew Luck's a great quarterback, but he can't stay healthy. His consistency hasn't really been there the past few seasons. I do like T.Y. Hilton. I think he's a great receiver. Dante Moncrief is a good receiver as well. They have a running back by the name of Frank Gore. I know he's been a household name for years. Frank Gore is like fine wine, man. He's been getting better with age, and it's crazy. But I drafted him on my fantasy team. I think he's going to be a great flex or bench running back this year for me. So yeah, if he can keep it going, I mean, this team could finish second in the division. We'll see, but I just think there's no reason that the Titans should not win this division. Well, it's going to be closer than I thought. Than I first, thought. With the Titans, they got better for sure. They have now what I would declare a stout defense. I think now too that Mariota's going to get better every year. He was already pretty good last year. I think he's going to get better. They have Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray. That is a 1-2 punch. That is a textbook 1-2 punch in terms of running game. Derrick Henry, that dude is a mama jama. He's huge. He's hard to bring down. He's like a bowling ball. I would not want to meet that guy on the line of scrimmage. No, thank you. And then DeMarco Murray, his numbers for the past few years, they speak for themselves. So that's a great running game there. I think that they're going to be able to. They have a dual threat quarterback. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, pass the ball, have the quarterback peel out and get some yards, first downs. I think Mariota's going to be dangerous, and I think the defense did improve there. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans winning the AFC South this year. Okay, we're almost done with the AFC. I'm going to go talk about the West now, the AFC West. So that consists of the Los Angeles Chargers, the Oakland Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Denver Broncos. Okay, so the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Broncos, those are the three best teams in this division. The Chargers have some good pieces on paper. They look like they'd be pretty good with Keenan Allen. Phillip Rivers is great, but they never really seem to figure it out and get them into the playoffs. So I'm not going to be able to consider them here for my division winner. Right now, for me, it's between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I just watched the Chiefs last night tear up the New England defense the second half of the season, and I loved to see that, especially from the Chiefs. I mean, it's about time that they finally, become a powerhouse in the NFL. Good for them, good for their fans. I'm going to try to make it out there for a game this season. Arrowhead Stadium's been one of the stadiums I've been wanting to go to for a while. But with that being said, I think the Chiefs are going to win this division. Kareem Hunt, I just watched that guy play, and I didn't draft him in my fantasy team, and I should have. And let me tell you why. That guy is explosive. He's powerful. They got a steal from him from Toledo. What a great running back that guy is. I didn't think he'd get many touches with Kanjic rest on the roster as well. But man, that's a smart decision for them, giving him some more touches last night. And Alex Smith, I mean, the guy threw for almost 400 yards last night or more. I don't even know exactly, but that guy was on fire last night. I wanted to pick him up in my fantasy team last night, and I still might. But no, he's good. I think the defense was number 1 in efficiency last season. They are on my fantasy team. I picked them up. I think the defense is great. They just lost their safety, Eric Berry. He's a veteran. He's definitely a great leader. He's a great player. Tough loss, man. You hate to see that. He just tore his Achilles. But I think the Chiefs can still win this division. If they can play like they did last night, they are going to have a fun season for those fans and for the players and coaches. It's going to be a fun season for them. So I'm going to go ahead and say the AFC West. You got the Chiefs winning the AFC West. All right, the wild card. I told you I'd come back to the Bills, and I am. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to have a breakout year this year. I think he's going to become a household name this season. He's a dual threat. If he can figure out how to pocket pass a little bit better, kind of like the transition that Cam Newton's having to make and Russell Wilson has made in the past, I think he's going to be a very dangerous quarterback because he's got the legs and he's going to hopefully have the arm soon here. And then you got LaShawn McCoy, obviously a great running back. And then I like Sean McDermott. He's a great coach. He's very defensive-minded, and that defense has always been pretty good over there. And now that they have a great offense as well, I think that with the defense and the offense both improving every year, I think they're going to be a pretty dangerous team. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills as one of the wild card teams. My second wild card team is going to come out of the West, the AFC West, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the Oakland Raiders. I didn't pick them to win this division. I know some of you guys are probably pissed off about that here a couple of seconds ago, but I didn't pick them to win the division, I think, because they're going to have a little bit of a hangover year, I think. I think people are going to start figuring out Derek Carr a little bit. Their defense is good, don't get me wrong, but their defensive front at least, their secondary has some issues. They have some holes to fill, literally, in that defense. They let up a lot of deep balls. They need to figure out how to communicate better between the safeties and the corners. I think that secondary is going to be kind of their downfall this year, which is not going to – it's going to keep them successful with that defensive front and the explosive offense, especially since they just added Marshawn Lynch. But I think the secondary is what's going to hold them back from winning that division. So second wild card team is going to be the Oakland Raiders. Okay, let's move on to the NFC. So I'm going to start with the NFC North here. The NFC North, they got the Bears, the Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions. So this is going to be a pretty competitive division this year, I think. The Packers, they don't really have a running back, really. Ty Montgomery is a wide receiver by trade. They're trying to transition him into running back. I think he's going to get better at the running back position. But that secondary is still up in the air. That secondary was like number 31 or 32 last year in efficiency. So I think that's going to hold the Packers back. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man, but he's going to be great. They have Jordy Nelson back, and they have Bennett at the tight end position now. Don't forget about Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams. So I think that offense is still going to be great. The running game is going to be a little iffy subject, but if they can figure it out, and they've had over a year to figure it out, they might be able to get something going. The Vikings, great defense. I was debating whether to take the Vikings or the Chiefs in my fantasy team. The Vikings are a great defense. I think that they're going to enjoy playing in that stadium again this year. I think that they really do have a home field advantage now. It's a loud stadium. It's going to be great. I'll try to make it out there for a game this year too. But Sam Bradford, if he can keep it together, man, stay healthy, they're going to be able to pass it off to Stephon Diggs. He's going to be able to take it to the house. He's a deep threat. He's fast. He can run out of the slot. I just think that's a good team all around. And then you got the Detroit Lions, who have Matthew Stafford. He just got paid a bunch of money. I don't think he's going to live up to it this year. I'm sorry. I just don't think he will. The defense has always been pretty good for the Lions, mediocre, but they don't have. Let's be real here. They don't have enough pieces, or threats, or what have you, experience to make a deep run in the playoffs. So I'm gonna pick the Vikings to win the the NFC North this year. I think the Vikings are overall the best team in the division. Okay, so we're gonna go with the East now, the NFC East. The NFC East consists of the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington Redskins, the New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's gonna honestly. I think it's gonna come down to two teams in this division, and the third team's not gonna be too far behind. Uh, I think the Cowboys are the best team. They have two good running backs. One of them's suspended. Ezekiel Elliott's suspended, but um, Murray is a very good running back, and he is going to be explosive. He's going to be able to fill that gap for the Cowboys McFadden. McFadden is going to be a great explosive running back. He's always been pretty good. He's always been pretty fast. So I think that he's going to be able to fill the gap that Ezekiel Elliott's going to leave. Because, I mean, let's be real. If you have the best offensive line in the league, your running game is going to be good no matter who's carrying the ball. So, and then, of course, you have Des Bryant and then Dak Prescott, man. Jason Witten, for sure, of course, the tight end position. But Dak Prescott, I think, is going to be just as good as he was last year, if not better. And that defensive front's good, and the secondary's not bad either. I think that overall they're a good team. And then you got the Giants. They have the Eli Manning. He's a household name. Hasn't been able to be very consistent, but he's very clutch. I must say he's clutch. And if you line up Marshall out there with Odell Beckham Jr., you're gonna get a terrible headache for the secondary and for their coaching staff. Don't even think about double teaming Beckham, because who the heck's gonna be on who the heck's gonna be on the other side over there guarding Marshall? So the running back position is kind of up in the air. Shane Vereen and Paul Perkins and whatnot, but I think overall they're a good team. I'm going to pick them second. I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win the division. The Redskins are good. Kirk Cousins is good. But they have a whole new wide receiver core. I don't really know how that defense is going to work this year. You never know with Kirk Cousins as well. He's been pretty consistent, I must say. He's a good quarterback, but you never know with him, honestly. The offensive line's pretty good for the Redskins, I'm not going to lie. Brandon Sheriff from the Iowa Hawkeyes is very good. But and then the Eagles, man, I don't know. I just don't think they're going to be a threat this year. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys in the NFC East. All right, NFC South now. I think this is going to be one of the more competitive divisions this year. We got the Atlanta Falcons, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. I think all these teams actually got better this year. So we got the Falcons, who just lost the Super Bowl in heartbreaking fashion. I think they're going to be a great team this year again. They didn't lose anybody to name, I guess, at least. Matt Ryan, if he can stay as good as he was last year, that's going to be a dangerous team there. I like him a lot. I think Julio Jones is amazing. I think Sanu is great. Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman, what a great running back duo that they have there too. So and then you got the Carolina Panthers, who they are my favorite team. I'm not going to be biased here though by any means. I think they got better because they got Christian McCaffrey. If they can get those young cornerbacks to develop well, being their second year, I think they're going to be a lot better this year. And then hopefully Cam Newton can figure it out. I think that team will be pretty good. And, of course, the front seven's one of the best in the league still, with Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis and K'Wan Short and Charles Johnson on the defensive line. So, I think that team's going to be good. They're going to be improved from last year. And then you have the Buccaneers. I just watched them on Hard Knocks. They look like a pretty good team. Gerald McCoy on that D-line. He's going to be bull rushing a lot of people this year. Jameis Winston, I think, improved. If they can figure out that running back situation over there, I know it's hard with suspension and everything like that to keep everything consistent back there. But if they can figure it out, man, they got a great running game over there. And if their wide receivers, Mike Evans, I think he's one of the best receivers in the league. He's great. And they just added Deshaun Jackson. Like, that guy is super fast. You better watch out if you're in the NFC South or any other team playing the Buccaneers this year, because you have two threats there for sure. Very real threats. And then you got the New Orleans Saints, who I think got better. They have Chloe Fleener as their tight end, Michael Thomas at the wide receiver position, Adrian Peterson, and Drew Brees at the quarterback. Darren Sproles, or Darren, is he on the team? I don't know. Anyways, they're going to be pretty good. I think that the defense is still the question mark for the New Orleans Saints. I think that's the only reason that they won't be able to compete for this division this year is their defense. Their offense is very explosive. I think every team in this division has explosive offense. So, with that being said, I think that the New Orleans Saints won't be able to compete for this division. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Falcons to win the division. I don't think it's going to be that far of a race, though, between the top three teams, really, with the Buccaneers and the Panthers. I think that the Panthers will finish second and the Buccaneers third, but I think the Falcons will still win this division. I think they're still overall the best team in this division. Okay, NFC West. Sorry, I'm taking a little bit longer here than I thought. NFC West, you got the Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Cardinals. I think the Seahawks overall the best team right now. I don't think they have the best defense. I think the best defense is the Cardinals' defense. They got better. They have Chandler Jones, Hassan Reddick. They just drafted Tyrann Mathieu and Patrick Peterson. They both stay healthy. You're going to be a very stout defense, very good, elite defense. The only question marks I have for the Cardinals are the offensive line. And this guy right here is not a question mark. He is not a question mark for this Cardinals team. He's an extremely good running back, and I think the only way he's going to be able to perform at MVP status like he did last season was if that O-line can keep it together. The O-line is my only worrisome for the Cardinals, and of course the wide receiver position, the depth at least for that position, since they don't have Floyd anymore, and Fitzgerald's getting older and stuff like that too. But he's still a good wide receiver, no doubt. So they're going to have some guys step up. John Brown's going to have to step up. Fitz is going to have a good year, and the tight end is going to have a good year too. So, Jermaine Gresham. I think that David Johnson is going to be a huge, huge part of this offense. He's going to be pretty much the offense as long as the O-line can hold and Carson Palmer doesn't freak out in the pocket and throw a lot of picks. I think they're going to be a very dangerous team. The Niners, I'm not really going to talk too much about them. I think they have more pieces than people think in terms of explosive players on offense, but the defense is always, it's a huge question mark. I'm actually going to San Jose for the first game, Santa Clara, excuse me. The Panthers are playing the Niners there, so I'm going to go check out Levi Stadium and see that game. That's going to be fun. But and then you have the Rams, and I just don't think that they have enough pieces to win the division either. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Seahawks to win this division. I think with Russell Wilson in that defense, the Legion of Boom, I think, and Eddie Lacy, if he can get it together, he'll be pretty good for them. No reason that they shouldn't win if they're the best team on paper. If they can execute, they should win that division. So, NFC West champions, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Seahawks. Now the wild card. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Packers for my first wild card team. I think that they're always going to be good enough to be in the hunt every year, and I think they're going to slide right into one of those wild card teams there. I talked about them a lot already, so I don't really need to go into it that much, but I think they're going to be one of the teams. And then the Panthers I also talked about a lot already. I think the Panthers will slide into the wild card. I see them being a significantly improved team this year. I think that the Panthers will be one of those wild cards there for the NFC. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to give you my AFC Championship game matchup. I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers versus the Chiefs in that matchup. I think the Steelers are going to win this matchup, however. The Steelers are such a good team. They have tons of weapons. The Chiefs are a great team. That's why they're going to be in the championship game with them. But I just think the Steelers are going to find a way, being a little bit more experienced, to pull off that win there in the AFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl. All right, NFC Championship game. I'm going to take the Cowboys versus the Falcons. I think the Cowboys are going to be just as good as they were last year. If not, they probably would be better, honestly. And then the Falcons, I think the Falcons, but if they get it rolling again, I think that they're going to be a really hard team to stop, really. If they keep that defense going, the offense is already number one. So if they can keep that going, I think there's no reason these two teams should not meet in the NFC Championship game. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Cowboys winning that game, just because the Cowboys, I think, are going to be a lot better than they were last year, and they're going to be able to top the Falcons this year. Okay, with that being said, Super Bowl 52 matchup for me at least, as a fan, I'm going to go ahead and take the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be a good game. No doubt it's going to be a good game. It's a Super Bowl. Usually Super Bowls are pretty good games. These are great teams. I'm going to go ahead and it's tough. I'm going to give the edge to the Steelers, and for this reason is because I think these teams are both good enough to be Super Bowl champions, but the Cowboys will always find a way to fail. Always. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like the Dodgers in baseball. They'll always, when they get there to the playoffs, they'll always find a way to fail. And that, it really sucks there for the fans. But, I'm going to go ahead and say Super Bowl 52 champions. I'm going to have to go ahead and say the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, they're a great team. They got tons of weapons. No reason they shouldn't be the Super Bowl champions if they can keep everything going. So, thanks guys for watching. I'm going to try to come out with some more videos here soon. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, share it, like it, comment on it, see what you got to say about it. I'm just a fan. That's my opinion, honestly. Of course, no one can really know for sure how this is really going to work out this season, but I just hope for a good, healthy season for all teams, and I hope it's a very fair season. No controversies here. I can't wait. I love the NFL. I love football, and can't wait for the upcoming season. Thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.